Buonasera signore e signori, benvenuti alla terza ESC Fan TV, anteprima annuale dell'84esimo Festival della Canzone di Sanremo. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the third annual preview for the Sanremo Festival of Song. Buonasera, Phil and Michelle.
Buonasera.
Hello.
Ian, and you'll be joined by Donna a little bit later.
Indeed, yes. She's on her way as we speak.
Eugenio. Buonasera, Eugenio from Glitterbeam Radio.
Buonasera.
Special guest for tonight. We're very lucky to have you. Lena, it's an American, what time of the day?
It's 1 p.m.
You're in your lunch hour. From Glitterbeam as well, we've got Mikey.
Hi, how are you doing?
So the first night, all 30 singers took part. Here are the 5 top scorers from night 1.
Nella zona nord quando mi chiamavi fra, con i fiori nella tuta gold, tu ne fumavi la metà.
Big Mama was robbed. That's just my opinion. But I did love them. What I was really appreciating is seeing all of the singers from Napoli. There was loads, and after obviously me and Eugenio spoken about different things, it was nice to see.
Ian.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. As Mike is saying, the standard this year is very high. Yeah, this one's been really good. I have to say my brain had slightly melted by the end. It's a good, very high standard.
So Michelle, Loredana Berti, now she came top of the board in the first night. She's been returning since about 1980. What did you think of her outfit, her hair and her song?
I appreciate a woman who has a handbag. It's like, what does she keep in that handbag? She's never without it. It's always there.
Yeah. I think I know the answer to that. I saw an article. Apparently, it's the transmitter for a radio mic.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
rather than having it sewn into a clothes like some people.
I thought it was like 20 Benson and Edges or something. and a few euros. I think her hair's brilliant. It takes a lot to keep up a hairdo like that as well, because it grows out really quickly and it fades. She just wears what she wants and it's ace. I mean, you could almost see a hoo-hoo at one point, and it's like she's like going, I'm just going to wear what I want. And I think her reasoning for doing it, she said that she really wants to go to Malmo just so that she can annoy Bjorn Borg, her ex-husband. If that's not a reason for going to Eurovision, I don't know what is. I'd love to see
You don't think that the Italian Eurovision fans might be a little bit embarrassed?
No, if she gets to go, if she's voted for and she gets to go, then she's rightfully got her place there. You can't take that away from her.
So, Lena, what do you think?
I also think it's just a very strong year. I think like the default, instead of it being like maybe more ballad based, this year is very like electronic pop based. This is where I live. So like I even just choosing a top 10, I thought was really difficult. Of Loredana Berti, I was definitely, her song this year is one of my favorites that she's brought to the festival. And I think it would do well at Eurovision.
So Diodato and Mahmoud, which did you prefer out of the two of them?
I love Mahmoud. Mahmoud's my guy. I definitely went into this being like, I'm not going to cheer for Mahmoud again. He won too much, but then he's just coming so hard with the fashion, and just the song is really catchy. So I love him.
All the men seem to be wearing very flowing, colourful, sparkly clothes. Right up your street, yes?
Oh, a million. I mean, leather is king this year. Everyone's at leather suits, leather shorts, leather. One of the Bunker 44s had a leather mini skirt on. I love it, but it's coming hard.
Okay, so after the first night, we got to learn about the top 5. The second and third night, we heard half of the songs. We got to find out the top 5 from each half. So we've got another idea of what's coming up. So the songs we're going to listen to now that came up on the rankings in nights 2 and 3.
Come sta iniziando a giovere, siamo due estranei che si incontrano. Cercavi un modo per proteggermi, però non c'eri. Non mi sento tanto bene, però sarà che questa vita non la prendo mai sul serio. Scusami, ma può succedere.
Annalisa went down, Diodata went down, Mahmoud went down, Loredana Berti went down, and some of the songs that didn't do so well on the press night started to do better. Mikey, what was your take on the acts that suddenly appeared in the rankings?
I was very surprised to see Mr. Rain in that one. I didn't know where that came from.
Who do you miss not having come into the top 5 so far, then?
I think, again, like I just said, from the both nights, I think definitely not seeing Big Mama in those, really disappointing for me. Definitely one of my favourites of the lot.
And Michelle, Phil?
I really liked Gali Casamia.
That was definitely a manatee, wasn't it? It's
We
not
were
a
trying to discuss
hippo.
whether it's a hippo or a
No,
manatee that kept appearing.
It's definitely a manatee.
But I thought that was quite funny. It's quite a nice song.
It was quite different from anything else, wasn't it?
It was,
A lot
yeah.
more American sounding.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
He did turn up last night dressed as Michael Jackson off of the 80s.
Yeah.
Which was really good. I really like it because I think it's really sort of cool and has a really smooth vibe to it, but it's still modern at the same time. I really like that one. Apart from the manatee, because if I want to look at a manatee, I just look in a mirror.
I wasn't so keen on, is it Joliet? I thought he sort of mumbled a little bit.
There was a bit too much.
Phil, can I stop you for a second? You need to be really careful what you say about Joliet because he comes from Napoli.
Okay.
He's got huge amounts of support, and you might be taken out before Saturday.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Say the wrong thing.
And it might be taken out. It might be taken out from me because I'm from Napoli.
Oh,
okay.
no.
Oh, sorry,
Nobody
Eugenio.
tell Eugenio where we live. It's just the vocoder sort of auto-tuney thing. It's not my thing, and it's been going on for a few years now.
Having said that, I'm going to agree with Mikey about Mr. Rain as well, because he really has some strong sort of vocoder sounds that I didn't think went with the song, and I don't know why they were there. There were some absolute corkers.
So I'm going to go over to Lena.
Arama, you can never count him out because he's very popular. I feel bad. I have the same take on Mr. Rain. I know people who love him. I just don't get it. Like, I find like his songs a bit boring and his vocal isn't so great. And we've all talked about Achille Lauro. Oh no, bringing it up. But like, you could say what you will about his vocal, and a lot of people have, but he always brings like entertainment, a stage presence, art, fashion. Whereas I feel like Mr. Rain is a yawn and somehow like boring. Like Super Roy from last year, I didn't understand why that was top 5. But he's popular. He's got the fan base. Same thing with Joliet. I understand he's very popular. I just think for him, he just needs to get a little oomph on his stage presence. Obviously, I want to talk about Gali a lot because I love Gali. Gali's my guy. He was born in Italy, but his parents are Tunisian. First big hit was Cara Italia, and the line from that is, people tell me, when are you going home? And I tell them I'm already here. I feel like this song has the same sort of thing about your casa mia, casa tua, like, your house, my house, it's all the same. The grass is always greener. His manatee friend, who he's taken everywhere around, it has its own Instagram account, and it's supposed to be like an alien. I do think he's creeping up, so like every night he'll be closer to the stage. Like the first night he was at the door, last night he was in the crowd, so I think come Saturday he will have come together with Gali on stage. And Gali's fashion is amazing. I love him. He's 6'4", in case you're wondering. He's extremely tall.
Do you know, I'm just astounded by the level of knowledge that our guests have got.
It's been a long evening to get here, but I'm here.
Mikey, please explain to us what it is about Joliet that is getting all the Eurovision fans and the Italian Sanremo fans so worked up.
There's a music revolution happening in Napoli at the moment. Everything that they had in sort of the past was all sort of like Spanishy, gypsy-like, and now there's this huge rap scene sort of coming out. Big Mama, Angelina Mango, Joliet. It's because, like, if it's spoken purely in Neapolitan, it's like a completely different language. They struggle to understand what's going on. He's received a lot of backlash, especially from true Neapolitans, saying that he's not speaking true Neapolitan, he's speaking the street version of it. But maybe that's why people are gelling with it, because maybe the younger ones are thinking to themselves, I like the sound of this.
Now we're going to look at returning artists. This year there are quite a lot.
Volevi solo soldi, soldi, come se avessi avuto soldi. Tutto con i brividi. con forte non si esprimermi. Ballavamo nella zona nord quando mi chiamavi fra, con i fiori nella tuta gold, tu ne fumavi la metà. Che fai rumore qui, se esiste una parte di me che spera ancora che sia.
Wow. Do you think that the Sanremo songs this year are better than their previous entries?
I think they might be worse.
I don't know. I think Mahmood's is better than the song last year's,
but
the
it's
one with
not
Blanco.
it's
But
not
it's not as good as Soldi, no. Richie e Poveri, oh, they were just great both times.
Diodato is definitely not better because obviously Fire Mare makes me cry every time I hear it, and it still does. I think, do you know what? I think it's 50-50 to be fair. I've changed my mind, or
I will just say for one moment that Brividi is one of my favourite songs of all time. So obviously, I don't think Mahmood has come back with a better song. Ricci e Poveri, what happened in the intervening years? Did two of them die?
One of them left the group actually in the 80s, officially to pursue the solo career, gossip says for other reasons. Unfortunately, one of them has retired first and then passed away last year. Now, a duo, but the most recognizable is probably Angela, which is the one that is still in the duo because she always looks like she's on drugs when she sings. She's not.
Do you think Diodato had any chance of coming back? No.
Fai Rumore was a beautiful song. We had a lot of meaning. It won Sanremo, and then we went into lockdown. So we had Half of Italy. You can see the videos on YouTube, Half of Italy on balconies, singing Fai Rumore, which was the last song that came out with Freedom. So it was very emotional. We saw the performance at the Arena di Verona, empty, that was very powerful. This song is nowhere near.
Ian and Donna, we all went to Diodato's concert in London, where Fai Rumore was beautiful but stood out for being completely different from the rest of his songs. And the song in the competition this year is more like Fai Rumore. Tell us what you think of Diodato in general and his song this year.
I really got to warm up to Diodato initially with Fai Rumore. I wasn't convinced, and then obviously I say that moment happened that made it set alight, really, and it became memorable for so many other reasons. This song this year for Diodato, I think it's more in keeping with his style. I found it a little bit slow as well. It just has a bit of a ploddy pace.
It's always going to get compared to Fai Rumore now. Fai Rumore has become so iconic because of the time. I didn't take Fai Rumore straight away, but it grew on me. Because it's got this iconic status, it's going to overshadow everything else now. Diodato song this year, I really like it. I think it's a beautiful song. He sings it fantastically. To be fair, he could sing the phone book and it would sound fantastic. I think one thing we're saying, trying to compare this year's songs with their previous entries. The previous entries are very familiar to us. Other people said, these are songs we've known for years. The other ones are very new. So the comparisons may be slightly unfair at this stage.
A lot of the artists came out and they went big, though, and they did have iconic songs. So Mahmood Soldi is going to be a hard one to beat.
And similar with Il Volo and Grandi Amore.
Yeah.
That's a big Eurovision classic.
Yeah.
In its style. They're always going to get that comparison, no matter how good their next song is.
I think actually the bonus with Ricci e Poveri is that they are quite far removed back, aren't they, in the histories? So a lot of the newer audiences that may not have heard them before ever.
So listen, we were talking a bit of moments ago about Joliet and the shock that he's brought to Sanremo, and you just mentioned Mahmood. Now he was in the Giovani in 2018. And he didn't win, but in 2019, I remember the first night he came last, and I'd stayed up and watched all the songs, and that last one, I thought, oh, do you know, there's something about that, and he went from last to victory. Now I'm going to go over to Lena. Mahmood.
I think he's great. I mean, is it Soldi? No, but it does seem to be getting a lot of radio play. It's again, I want much like the same thing with Il Volo. I want to give other people space. I want other people to perform and be part of the festival and not take up too much air in the room. But then he came out that second time and did the song, and I was like, I love this. This is great. And then
I think the solo singers can change their style possibly more easily than Il Volo, where number one gets up and sings. Number two gets up and sings. Then they all three of them do it in harmony, and where it doesn't matter what you do with the song, they're going to perform it in the same way each time.
A lot of people sing about Joliet, sings in Neapolitan, and it's the festival of the Italian song. Also in Italy, there is a lot of people saying that. People have a very short memory because it's not the first song in Neapolitan that took part to Sanremo. The last one was in 1999. It was called Nino D'Angelo with the song called Senza giacca e cravatta, which is entirely in Neapolitan. Even in Italy, I think people should read the book about Sanremo because they clearly forget very, very quickly.
Tell us how the Italians are taking to Eurovision. You came back to the competition in 2011 when it had a very tiny audience on TV, even though it was hosted by Raffaella Carrà. She did an amazing job of it.
No, in respect now it's completely changed since clearly Måneskin, since the Måneskin won. It's changed a lot. Is viewed more like a big festival, you know. Even in Sanremo, even in the press conferences, you see that they talk more about Eurovision. There are more songs. There are more questions in regards to Eurovision Song Contest to the singers. Would you go? Would you not go? Would you accept to go, etc. There is a lot more talking about Eurovision as well.
Lena, in America, nobody's heard of Sanremo, have they?
According to John Travolta, all the Americans are talking about it. I'm sorry. I know we need to not talk. It's not a song, but that was unhinged, man. It's like the token American at the festival. That was some wild nonsense.
For those that didn't see it.
So basically, they had a couple international guests. Russell Crowe was on yesterday, who I thought was charming and delightful. They had John Travolta on, and like he just seemed confused and not really game for having fun. And then like the hot talk about it was after they made him do the chicken dance, which was part of, because it was like they made him do famous dances from his favorite films. Apparently, he did not sign the release form that would allow them to replay his performance. So like it's not in the replay, like on Rai, you can it's been scrubbed from the history books. It can't be shown again. Of course, we live in the year 2024, so on the internet, everyone's reposting the chicken dance. Thank goodness. So we as fans have preserved that important history.
We're going to be back. We're not finishing yet. Sunday morning at about 1:30 or 2 o'clock, just as soon as the final credits roll. The first year we did it, we got about 1,000 people. It was just amazing. So we're looking forward to having a really good night, and we hope that everybody in the chat room will just stay for another half an hour. It would be lovely to see you all. Before that, we're all going to be joining Glitterbeam Radio. So Glitterbeam Radio were invited 2 years ago to do the official English language commentary. An absolute honor for you guys, but a testament to how good you are. So, Eugenia, Mikey, tell us what's coming up.
We got the all night of the final. We got guests from Australia, from Canada, the Oxford study group of Sanremo. We got a person in Sanremo, which will try to annoy every single singer once they've done.
Please tell our audience how they can find Glitterbeam and why they should be listening to you whilst Sanremo's on.
Well, you can listen to us and watch it on Rai Play because it's not geolocked. Why you want to listen to us is because if you watch Rai Play, it's all in Italian and you understand nothing. So I'd say it's a good idea to tell you. At least we tell you what's going on and what's happening, and we tell you some bits and pieces and some curiosity about the music festival as well. Glitterbeam.co.uk, or download the Glitterbeam app, which is available on iOS and Android. In UK and Malta, we are also on DAB, so you can listen in the car, or ask your smart home device, which I'm not going to name, otherwise I'm going to trigger mine, to open Glitterbeam.
Yes, and you don't have advert breaks, is that right?
No, we don't. We usually do, but not during the night because it's too full. Actually, I don't know how we're going to manage with all these people, including you guys.
Where can people find ESC Fan TV?
Come and have a look on TikTok. I post every day on TikTok a little snippet of shows and stuff and bits that are going on or what's happening. What else is it? Oh, Instagram. Yeah, I do that on Instagram.
It's all down at the bottom on the banner.
Oh, God, it is, yeah. On Sunday, the 11th of February at 7 p.m. UK time, 8 p.m. Central European time, we have Lithuania Heat 5, which includes the Roop, which we're all looking forward to, and Finland's final as well. And then at 8 o'clock UK time, 9 o'clock Central European time, we have Melfest Heat 2 and we have Latvia final.
Saturday night is the big final. Please join Glitterbeam Radio from 7:30 And then if you stick around, join us at, who knows, 1:30, 2 o'clock. It's going to be fabulous. It's going to be wonderful as always. I would like to thank Phil and Michelle.
It wouldn't be the same without you, Andy.
It's amazing what you can do when you've had half a bottle of gin, isn't it?
Thank you, Ian and Donna.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
And it was nice to finally get here. Yeah.
Cheers.
Lena, thank you for making your way out of work. Do you have to go back to work?
No, I've told them now that it's done. I was like, I have to go. I have they know I have my yearly Italian show. It's very important to me. I have to be there.
Mikey and Eugenio, you've got a show starting any moment. It's not a Eurovision show. What is it?
So this is my show. It's the Limitless Project, and I am going to touch on Sanremo just a little bit, but just to touch because tomorrow is all about Sanremo. Really, really excited for it.
Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you Sunday morning first thing.
Bye.
Bye.